Hey guys, welcome and welcome back. My name is Custodial for those of you who are new, and my videos are all about love, marriage, travel, and family. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the process of the no-fee passports. But before I get into that, I just want to remind you guys to like, comment, share, and subscribe. When you guys do that, it makes it a lot easier for people to find my videos, and I would really appreciate that, so thank you in advance. Also wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on as it relates to traveling and stuff like that. So we are still in the New Jersey area. We actually leave tomorrow for a 9:30ish flight, I believe. We're going to Seattle. We're going to be there for a few days, and while we're there, we're going to get a COVID test done, and then from there we're going to fly to Misawa, Japan. So we're extremely excited. It's so funny because just a few weeks back I was just like, oh, it's never gonna come, and it's finally here. We are leaving tomorrow, and now I feel like, damn, it happened so freaking fast, and I don't even know if we're ready. We're like I'm ready, but I don't know, I'm scared. Scared but excited, and just a whole bunch of emotions and nerves like going through me. So it's a little bit of everything right now, but enough of that. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. For this video, it's best that I start at the beginning because there are a bunch of things that I learned throughout along the way of this process for the no-fee passports. So the beginning, this is the first mistake that we made, by the way. So we got our orders, as you would get your orders as well, that says, hey, congratulations, you're going to Japan, you're going to Rome, you're going to Italy, wherever you're going, right? It says congratulations, right? You need to read those orders in its entirety. And I know, like, if you're the active duty member watching this video, I'm sure your detailer told you that. I'm sure it's in an email somewhere. I'm sure you've heard that. But it is actually true. If you are not the active duty member, but you are the spouse of an active duty member, then you should probably read the orders along with your spouse, because some of the wording can be a little wonky. There's a lot of abbreviations used. It just looks like codes, and it looks like you have to decode stuff, and it seems very crazy. So if you can, read it with your active duty member. When you get your orders, it should have everything that you need to do for the process. Like, it basically is a step-by-step. And for us, the step-by-step was in a website. So Lou's orders basically said, hey, go to this website, and this website will give you or tell you everything that you need to move forward with your process, Pcsing and all that good stuff, right? However, we did not do that. I know Lou noticed that there was a website in his orders, but he did not go to that website. I don't know why. I think he was listening to a lot of the people around him who had been to Japan. I know a gentleman who got to his boat just left Japan, so he probably felt like, you know, they would have more advice on what to do, how to do it, and stuff like that. And if you're a spouse like me, you don't have access to this website. So one, I did not read those whole orders in its entirety because I didn't have time for that. But two, even if I had noticed that, there was no way I was going to be able to get onto that website without him, because you need a CAT card, and I do not have one of those. So it is a military website, and you can't get on without one of those. So our first mistake, and my first advice to you, is to read your orders in its entirety. And if it says, hey, go to this website so that way you can figure out what you need to do, please do that. Do it, please, because it will help you. Anyway, fast forward. I have been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about people PCSing to Japan and stuff, and like seeing what they needed and stuff like this. And I was doing this even before we got our orders. Like, we had already picked Japan. We just was waiting for the hard copy orders, which you guys know, if you've seen the other videos in this series, that we didn't get those orders until like 2 months before we were scheduled to like move out of our apartment in Virginia. So it was like hella late, and we was kind of behind. Kept seeing that no-fee passports was one of the things that it was common in other people's videos who was PCSing to Japan. So I was telling Lou, like, okay, you know, do we need passports? Do we need passports? You know, let's try to get that. So he spoke to someone, I'm not sure who, but they gave him a document that told you step by step where to get the no fee passports from. Now, the document was helpful in a way because the website that it gave me was the actual website that you go on to get your no fee passports. However, the document was very vague. There are specific things you need to do. For example, there is a section that you have to fill out, and it actually depends on what branch of the military your service member is in. So this is not like you can't just fill it out any old way you want. Military is paying for the passports, so they have to know like what branch, and then there's like a specific code you have to use. I'll insert it somewhere on the screen so you kind of get a feel of what I'm talking about. But it didn't go into specific details about that. Once I was done filling out the online application, it kind of prompted me to make an appointment. So I was excited, like, oh yeah, I can get an appointment, blah, blah, blah. But the appointments were at the regular USPS postal service. You know, it was at a regular post office. So I assumed that the passport agent was anybody. So I assumed that, sorry for the barking in the back, we have a wild animal in this house. But I assumed that the passport agent could be anyone, you know, and that's not true. So the passport agent is not anyone, not a USPS passport, you know, the passport section there. You don't go there. You don't go up to the UPS people. So that was my first mistake. Now, even though I filled out everything and I just thought I had everything correct, which I didn't actually go, and I made the appointments. I didn't go to any of the appointments because like when you get a civilian passport, you need a consent form, right? But because this passport was different, it was a no-fee passport, I knew I needed a consent form because it tells you that you need a consent form for like a minor, which is our daughter. But I didn't know if I could use the same consent form that I would normally use for a civilian passport for this passport. So I was really confused about that. So we couldn't figure it out. And then at some point, one of the PSs at Lou's Command was like, hey, you guys don't even need a passport. As long as you have your civilian passports, you're good. Incorrect, by the way. So we ended up like saying, all right, F it, we don't need it. We already have our civilian passports. You know, as you guys know, I changed Kylie's last name. So I had a passport that reflected that. I got the passport already. I was excited. I'm like, all right, yeah. And then 2 weeks or a week or something, no. Because Lou came back 2 weeks before we was scheduled to leave from Virginia. So a week before we was leaving, we found out when Lou went to go get the tickets for us, our flights, the guy was like, oh, where's the passport? Before they give us the plane tickets, they need evidence that, we have the no-fee passports. So Lou was basically like, oh, we was told that we don't need no-fee passports as long as we have civilian passports. The reason why we need a no-fee passport is because it has a specific seal on it. And I wish I could show you guys what it looks like, but unfortunately I can't. But it has a specific seal on it that we need to enter into Japan. So our regular passports don't have that, obviously. So the guy was just like, oh no, like y'all need to have the civilian, the no-fee passports. So what ended up happening is he ended up giving Lou the headquarters number, which I will leave numbers, all that stuff. Anything that I mentioned today, I'm going to leave in the description down below in the description box. So he gave us the number for the headquarters, right? So he was like, hey, this is the number. Now, when you call these people, call them before 12 o'clock p.m. Because if you wait until lunch, you won't hear from them. It's like they go on lunch and then that's it. Lunch is a break. Like lunch is the end of the day. So call them before 12. You should call them as soon as you wake up. I think they open at 8 or something like that. So call them at 8:01, right? So we called them. We got a number for a passport agent in Virginia. We called that person. It kept ringing. There was no voicemail, or I think Lou left the voicemail and no one responded. And we was leaving in like a few days, so we had to figure something out. So we ended up calling the headquarters again and getting, we got a number for a passport agent close to the New York, New Jersey area. We reached out to the lady. She sent me an email basically saying like, okay, here's what you need to fill out. Here's how you have to do it. I actually have the document right here. So it's literally step by step. This is the document. Step by, and it's 2 pages. That's the address for the building. But it's literally 2 pages of directions and stuff on how to fill it out, where to go to fill it out. So for the application, you will go to www.travel.state.gov, which is the main website. She gives you the websites to go to. On here is where to mail the passports to. And this is the part I was talking about where it depends. You can't just put anything in here. It depends on what branch of the military you're in or your spouse is in, and you want to send it to a specific address because you don't pay for these passports. So you have to basically mail it to Washington because they're paying for it, right? It's where you're mailing the bill to. So that's an important thing to know. So we called Miss Renee, we got all the information, and then we had to meet with her. Now, like if you have a minor, then you need to make sure you bring everything, like all documents, you know, originals. So you should gather your documents before you even start this process. So you're gonna need birth certificates, you're gonna need marriage license if you guys have different last names on your IDs. You'll need, you know, your kid's birth certificate, bring your socials. If you have a civilian passport, which you should have a civilian passport, you need to bring those too. Bring the divorce decree, bring anything you could possibly bring. Like you guys saw my PCS binder. I bought my whole binder. And I didn't have everything scattered everywhere. Before my appointment, I took one of these folders. I put everything in the folder together in the binder, and I bought my whole binder just in case they needed something that wasn't on the list of things to bring. So make sure you bring everything. Another thing that I want to mention is that our situation is kind of unique because we didn't leave from our home station. We didn't leave from Virginia. We are leaving from the New York, New Jersey area. So when you call the headquarters, they'll ask you for your what is it called? They'll ask you for a zip code. They're gonna try to get you a passport agent that's close to that area, but not everybody you talk to will know like the proximity from like the different bases to your location. So if you could kind of have some bases in mind when you call, that will be helpful. Another thing you can do is when you call them, get 2 numbers. So usually they'll give you 1 number for a passport agent. They'll say, okay, here's a number. Get 2 different passport agents, because what happens is if you have bad luck like we did with the first passport agent, you're gonna have to call back the headquarters to get another passport agent. And if you don't call at 8:01 in the morning, you might not get anybody. So just to, you know, to cover all your bases, when you call them, ask them for 2 passport agents just in case. It seems like there's only 1 per base. So it's not like 2. It doesn't seem like if one's on vacation, they have a backup person. At least that first person we called didn't, because they didn't respond. They didn't hit us back. We still haven't heard from them, and it's like almost 2 months later. So yeah, that's my advice to you. When you call them early, and then ask them for 2 passport agent numbers just in case you can't get in contact with one. You won't have to call them back for another. And they was very sweet and willing to help, so you'll be, you know, that should be good. You'll be okay with that. So we set up our appointment with Miss Renee, and the appointment was like the next week. So these passport agents, they get to you really soon. You don't have to wait long. The appointment took like 30 minutes because we, you know, like I said, I was ready with everything packed in one of these papers. So like everything was organized and together. So the appointment really took 30 minutes. Once the appointment was over, she basically let us know it would take about 3 to 4 weeks. Thor, sir, why are you in here? Once the appointment was over, she said it would take about 3 to 4 weeks for the passport to come, and they did come, which I posted on my Instagram. So ours took 3 weeks to come, which was perfect. When you do the passport application, it's gonna ask you where you want your passport shipped to. obviously we put that we wanted our passport shipped to us in, I think we said at my sister's address in Brooklyn. However, when passports were ready, I actually shipped them back to our passport agent, and she called me up saying, hey, do we want her to ship it to us, or do we want to come pick it up? We chose to pick it up because it's just easier. I didn't want it to get lost in the mail and it'd be a whole shit show. I'm saying that to say, I feel like everything worked out for the best, because had we got the passport agent in Virginia, and then the passports went to Virginia instead of coming to us out here, we can't just drive to Virginia to go get it. So we would basically have to risk that passport agent sending it through the mail to us, and us, you know, getting it and not getting lost in the mail and all that, like all that stuff. So just do yourself a favor and get these passports early, so y'all do not have to go through what we went through with these passports. I'm so grateful that we have the passports now, but I'm telling you, it was so many things that were happening to us because it was so last minute. So if you guys don't have to go through this, don't put yourself through it. That was our process and how we was able to get our no-fee passports. I really truly hope you guys' process is a lot more easier than ours was. If you guys have any questions and like pertaining to this whole process, please leave the comments down below and I will get back to you guys. This series will be coming to an end soon because we will be in Japan already. So I will be creating a series about being in Japan, probably the next 2 videos or so. So please keep a lookout for that. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Please, again, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.